Hello my friends, Paul here again at RoJoBe Music. So this is part 8, the final part of the Mountain Dulcimer build project. It's been over a week since I posted the last video on this project because, as some of you will know, I was waiting for the tuning pegs to arrive because I was going to make them and decided not to. I decided to buy some violin tuning pegs and modify them to fit this instrument. Well, I ordered 2 sets, 2 different colours, a brown set and a black set, and they both arrived on Wednesday. It's now Friday, and so the brown ones here, actually these match the instrument very, very well. Unfortunately, these ones turned out to be a little bit too short. So I've ended up using the black ones, which still look nice, and they're a little bit longer, so they fit properly. So there they are, fitted in. I think you'll agree that looks pretty good. And as you can see, I've got the strings on as well. So as I said, it has been a while, a week, 10 days or so since the last video of this project. And part of the reason was because I was waiting for the tuning pegs. The other reason is it's gone proper mental here. We officially reopened the shop and the school at the beginning of September, and the past couple of weeks, it's, like I said, it's just gone mental. I'm now teaching 7 days a week, a total of about 30 hours, and Saturday and Sunday is just flat out all day, and the wife is doing online teaching at the same time, so it's just gone mental. I just I've been doing bits and pieces on this project in my spare half an hour between lessons, and it's gone crazy, but of course that's good. I can pay bills and everything. It's amazing. But as I said, between lessons and when I've had spare time, I've been working on this instrument. And so as you see, I've fitted the tuning pegs and the strings. I've also found another one of those mother of pearl inlay dots, so I fitted them. Okay, and I think you'll agree it looks a whole lot better. You can really see them now, they pop. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they look great. As I said, they're faux mother of pearl, probably more like mother of toilet seat, but they look really good, and they stand out, and they're still quite subtle. As I said, I wanted subtle, but the ones I put in before, just a little bit too subtle. You just couldn't really see them. But these, they really, they stand out and look nice, and it really finishes off the look of the whole thing. The nut is fitted, and I've got some notches in the nut so that the strings are held in the right place. You can see we've got the double string here, and the middle string and the bass string there. So these are the treble strings, the middle and the bass string. Now at the moment I've got this tuned half a step down. So normally it would be tuned D, A, D. So I've got it tuned C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, or double C sharp at the end. A couple of reasons for that. First of all, I don't want it right up to full tension, although it pretty much almost is really, because I just want to make sure everything's settled and everything's going to be good on it before I tune it up to full tension. But also, I don't know how well you can see, but the tuning pegs, certainly this one and this one, they're pretty much maxed out. They're right up to the end of their taper, so I've kind of run out of taper, particularly on this one, which is the bass string. And I have actually tried, and the bass string, I can't actually get it up to the D because it keeps slipping back, because I've just about run out of taper. So I am going to be removing these tuning pegs. I'll plug all the holes up, re-drill them and re-taper them. But for now it works. I mean, it's working perfectly, to be honest. As I said, everything's half a step down. So there's no rush for that because it's finished. This thing is finished. So another couple of things I've done. At the moment I've just got a temporary floating bridge on there, and I'm going to leave that as is for now, because I still need to lower the action at the nut. You can see the string action there is still a little bit high at the nut, so I've just got to cut the grooves a bit deeper. And I'll also need to lower the action at this end as well when I eventually fit the permanent bridge. But for the time being, I'm just sticking with this. It works, you know, it's an old bridge I used before on a previous instrument. You know, it's got the grooves ready cut, doesn't fit properly, it's too long. But you know, the good thing is this is a floating bridge and I can always adjust the intonation. Once I have the permanent bridge in place, that's it. You know, if I don't get the intonation right, then it's, you know, I'm stuck with it. So I'm going to stick with that for now and change that later and lower the action. But at the moment it's playable. So the action's a little bit high at both ends, but it's perfectly playable at the moment. So you know, I'll be doing those few tweaks later on. There's no rush for it because it's together, it's finished, apart from those little adjustments, and it's playable. Another thing I did was, towards this end, I've put a bevel on the end of the board there, you see, because it came right to the end here at the same height and then just dropped straight down. And I was always going to do this anyway, so that's done. And I've still got a nice break angle on the strings, as you can see, coming back from the bridge or the saddle. The strings drop down, so you get that angle, so you get the pressure down here, so it keeps the bridge in place and everything stays in tune. I've also changed what I've done at this end. It looks a bit crude, but it works quite well as a tailpiece. Now this is version number 6. So originally I just had 3 screws in the end here, and then I had the brass screws, and I had the strings just looped over the screws, which is how these things are normally built. It's either like screws or pegs, and you just loop the strings over and then, you know, do them up at this end. I did that because that's a traditional way. Looked at it, didn't like it, thought, you know, it just looks scrappy. So I took those screws out, plugged up the holes, and then proceeded to try and make some kind of tailpiece. And I went through several different options made of wood and metal. So I made the first one, didn't like it, made another one, thought, yeah, this is going to work, put it on, didn't like it. Then I tried to make another one, and it kind of worked, but the metal bracket I made it from wasn't wide enough, didn't cover enough, so didn't like that. So as I said, this is version number 6, and as I said, it looks a bit crude, but basically all we've got is a decent sized screw holding this straight into the heel block, so it's good and solid. It's only one screw and it's not particularly long, but it's quite a thick threaded screw. So that's perfectly strong enough to hold this, more than strong enough. If it wasn't, I would have put another screw directly above it for extra strength, but it really doesn't need it. So all it is just a metal bracket with a bend over the top to cover where the strings come through. Holes drilled through the plate, so the strings just go straight through, and you see the two treble strings, I've got them going through the same hole. And yeah, it works perfectly well. You can see just about how the strings are not really under any, you know, weird angles or strain there, so they come through the hole, straight up over this slope, up and over the bridge, so that works really well. I've only given this 2 coats of boiled linseed oil. I thought I might need more, but it's actually finished up really, really nice. So 2 coats was all it needed. Yeah, so it's basically finished. There it is in all its glory. As I said, I've got a few minor tweaks to do by lowering the action at the nut and the bridge, and I'm gonna, you know, plug and re-drill the holes for these to make them fit a bit better. But to be honest, I don't really need to do any of that as far as it playing, because it stays in tune and it plays. But I just want to finish it off, and that's all I need to do. So there it is. Now, as far as tuning, as I said, I've got it all down half a step. So normally D, A, D, but I've got it tuned at C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. Okay, using my trusty tuner, and I've also with the floating bridge, I've got it intonated as well. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's pretty close. So the tuning's good, the intonation's good, and I've been practicing off camera playing this instrument. Now, unlike a normal dulcimer or any other stringed instrument where you hold it like so and strum and you're fretting up here, this instrument's completely different. It's called a mountain dulcimer or a lap dulcimer, and you play it either on a table or on your lap, and you strum here and fret this way. So let's see where you've got a difference. So holding this instrument, okay. So this is the treble string, middle, and bass. Okay. So when you're fretting an instrument like this, just like a guitar, a ukulele, anything, okay, your hand comes around and you're fretting this way. Now, with most instruments, you do more of the fretting generally on the treble strings, so you want them close. So when your hand comes around this way, you're straight there on the treble string, okay? And you'd have to just stretch a bit more for your other strings. Now, this instrument is different because you don't hold it upright, as it were, like a guitar. You hold it in front of you. In this case, the treble strings are the other way round. Okay, so this one, treble on that side, this one, treble on this side. So this one, the bass is here, this one, the bass is here. So you kind of play it in the reverse order. So normally, when I hold this up to me, uppermost towards me is the bass string, is closest to me, because I'm playing this way to get to the treble string. But this one, the treble strings are closest to me because I'm fretting from this side. So you need them towards you. So when you play this instrument, it's kind of in reverse to an ordinary instrument that you hold up in your hands. So when I first saw that, I thought, that doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right there, because I saw a right-handed person playing a dulcimer. I thought, that looks like it's strung left-handed, you know, in reverse. but it's not, because obviously you kind of play it in reverse, because you always want the treble strings closest to your fingers, and in this case that's towards me here. So as I said, I have been practicing playing this off camera, and I have never played one of these before. No, I've never played one. I played many different types of instruments, but I've never played a Mountain Dulcimer before. It's a completely different technique. You know, you almost have to relearn how to play an instrument, because the principles of playing a banjo, a guitar, an ukulele, a stick dulcimer, the principles are exactly the same. You hold it like so, you strum with one hand or finger pick, and you fret with the other hand, and the treble string is always at the bottom, closest to your fingers. So this is a completely different playing technique, and I'm not used to it, and it's going to take some getting used to. You know, you've got to have it in the right position. At the moment I've got it on a table, and it's not really the right height. It's a bit too high. So, you know, you would normally play it on your lap, like so. Can you see that? So you'd normally have it in your lap, strumming here and fretting here. So it's a completely new concept for me. I'm not used to it, and I'm not very good. But I'm going to give you a little tune on it, as best I can. Okay, so here we go. This is the first time you have heard this instrument play, and I can't guarantee it's going to be that good, so bear with me, okay? Let's start that again, that was terrible. That was pretty bad. I'll just try it one more time. It's quite difficult. I'm learning a completely new technique, and struggling a bit. Okay, I do apologise for that. It's pretty bad. But I will learn. I will learn to play it and play it better. I'll practice. But what really I want to talk about is how this thing sounds. Now, as I said, I've never played a Mountain Dulcimer before. And do you know what? I've never even seen one in the flesh. Never seen one. I've seen millions of them on YouTube videos and the like, but I've never actually seen one myself, let alone played one. I didn't. Well, the first time I saw one, I thought, yeah, they're okay, but I wasn't in love with them because my passion is, well, it started with the banjo many years ago, 20 plus years ago. Picked up a banjo and started to learn to play that. And I've since gone to ukuleles, banjoleles. I've got a mandolin, and various other instruments. None of which I can play all that well, but I try. So this was something that was very new to me. But I started to watch more videos, do a little bit of research and things, and I started to really get interested in these. And that was why I decided to build one myself, because I knew that there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to buy one in Thailand. Absolutely no way. So the only way I was ever going to get one was to build one, so that's what I did. And the one thing I have noticed about these is they do sound very tinny, kind of tinny. And it's because of the shape. I mean, normally they're not this angular; they're kind of curved, hourglass shape. But you know the story of how I ended up with this shape. I won't go into that again. But I did build mine quite a bit deeper than they normally are. I mean, this is, what's that, 3 inch, something like that, which is probably at least 60 or 70% deeper than they normally are. Now, I did that deliberately because I was thinking that I would get kind of a more of a bassy sound from it, but that doesn't seem to have happened. It seems to sound like a Mountain Dulcimer. That's not a problem. I'm quite happy with that. It sounds how it should do. It sounds like a Mountain Dulcimer. So I couldn't really ask for more than that. But it's not as bassy as I was thinking it was going to be. But it's not a problem. Now, I possibly could make it sound a little bit more bassy by opening up these sound holes, making them a bit bigger. But you've got to be careful, and if any of you know anything at all about acoustic instruments, the sound hole is very important, and it's not only, for its reason for letting the sound out, but it can only do that if it's the right size and in the right position. And the reason for that is because, for example, if you make the hole too big, then you cut away more of the vibrating top wood, so you don't get the vibration that makes the sound. So you can, for this I could make the hole slightly bigger and it would possibly increase the volume a little bit, but there's a sweet spot. Okay, I could go a little bit and it would improve it a bit. I could go a little bit more and then it would come down, because then I'm losing the material that needs to vibrate to make the sound. So you've got to be careful. So I am not going to mess about with these sound holes. That's it. They're done. They still look a bit amateurish, and that's absolutely fine. Quite happy with that. But I'm not going to toy with them, because it's actually, although it's not bassy, it's got some really good volume. You're not really going to be able to tell it on this video, but it really does have some volume to it. And sustain, well, that's still ringing now. Still going. Still going. Yeah. So, it's not. It is fairly bassy. I think it's a little bit more bassy than the standard ones, if that's what you want to call it. But volume, absolutely no problem at all. Sustain, brilliant. The sustain is a lot better than I was expecting. I did expect sustain, but not this much. It's absolutely incredible. So here we are at the end of this journey. Okay, there is the finished Mountain Dulcimer project, and I've got to say, I'm kind of filling up a bit right now, because I'm really, really pleased with this. It ain't perfect. I wasn't going for perfection. I never do, as you know. But I think for my first attempt at building something I've never even seen in the flesh before, I don't think I've done a bad job myself. I'm very proud of this, to be honest. And this ain't for sale. I'm keeping this. This is for me. It's another instrument to add to my collection. So I now have 12 instruments, some of which all of which I haven't played for weeks. I haven't played any of them for weeks because of building this and other things and the teaching and everything else. So I haven't played any of my other instruments for weeks. Some of them I haven't touched for months. So yeah, we've come to the end of a journey in many ways. I'm taking a step back from recording now. I'm not going to do any for a while now. Truth is, I'm tired. I'm back to the teaching, which is really, really tiring. These projects have taken a lot out of me, and I want to take a step back and spend some time actually playing the instruments that I've spent so much time building and not had time to play. So I'm not going to be uploading any videos for a little while yet. I'm taking a step back. I'm having a rest. Like I said, I'm tired, and I want to take some time out for myself and enjoy the fruits of literally the fruits of my labour over the last few weeks, months, and just spend some time playing and enjoying myself. So I will see you again soon, but in the meantime, you all please take care, stay safe, and please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the stuff. And as I said, just take care, and hopefully we'll see you all soon. Okay, peace out.